Good afternoon. Can you believe this is week 7 of 8 weeks of our class? I have thoroughly enjoyed uh, being on this journey with you. It's the first time I've taught this class, so I have learned much as you have learned much. I sure enjoyed your pastoral interview papers. They were awesome. Made me want to visit your church. I will note this about um unwritten rules. Unwritten rules are kind of like brushing your teeth. When mom says to a child, brush your teeth, she doesn't give details beyond that. They already know that's what the procedure is. You get the toothpaste, you get the brush, you put the paste on, you wash out your brush, all those kind of things. And that's the way it is within churches. You know, in some churches, it's very obvious. The pastor and his wife are to greet people as they leave following worship. Uh, Another one is some people say you must have pews or chairs to effectively worship. Another one is you must have a pulpit to effectively preach. Some would add a wooden pulpit that's decorated according to the late 1800s. Another one is this room has been my Sunday school room for 50 years and I am not going to move. And nobody bothers to because they know it's mine and it belongs to me. Another one that I found interesting as an interim pastor is the unwritten rules related to communion. Uh, how many prayers? When do you have them? What do you do to indicate that the people distributing the elements are to make their move? And all those kinds of things. Quite interesting. Another one that ought to be an unwritten rule in every church is accept one another as we are. Well, you get the idea. One of the things you're going to be getting a notice about, if you haven't already, is an evaluation form on the class, and it gives you the opportunity to give feedback about many various aspects of the class. Please be sure to complete it. As I understand it, you will continue to get that reminder until you do complete the form. So thanks in advance for expediting that. Our assignments for this week are quite interesting. The article we are to read, um, I don't understand why you have it. Let me summarize the article. It says liberal churches in metropolitan areas are more likely to have a shared worship service with Muslims or Baha'i or something else than evangelical conservative churches are. That summarizes the article. And if you uh, feel compelled to read it, go ahead. If you don't, just say that you've taken care of that responsibility. It, it's irrelevant, in my opinion. That will be one of my evaluations for the course. The video, I hope that you've already read it, watched it, the Exegesis of a Congregation, Part 2. Then the congregational meeting. Oh, wow, this is an awesome opportunity for you. You'll learn a lot, I'm confident. Don't write down every word that is said. Some of you recorded your pastor interview, and that was great. And then you wrote it down from there. But as you do it, try to get a few quotes. Now, obviously, I will never know if you got every little word put into that quote, but just it gives you a little more flavor. And the format I would like to suggest to you is this. You give a brief introduction as to how many people were there and when you did it and anything that would be of kind of interest as a backdrop for your interview. Then, like you could say you had two people who had been members for over 50 years and one person who'd only been a member for a year and one who is not a member. So that just gives a little background. Then in bold print, write out question 1A and write down the responses related to 1A. And then another subheading is perspective. So you have question, and under that, responses. Under that, perspective. That's your perspective, your interpretation. Uh, in some of the pastor interviews, some of you said, I think he has it about right, or those kind of things. It just helps me understand that a little better. And then you would go on to question 1B, responses, perspective through the end, and at the end make a short summarization. Don't send me 100 pages. I think most questions uh, of the there's 5 questions, that most of those you can summarize adequately within 1 page. But if you need a little more, I'm not going to have a heart attack over that. So you have an exciting, great week. I'm so glad that we have been able to learn together about cultural dynamics of congregational ministry. God's blessings to you.